I'm always amazed when I hear elected members of Congress openly speaking out against the Bill of Rights, any part of the Bill of Rights. And they do it because they are either ignorant of what they're saying, they're evil, or both. Enter Representative Cori Bush, a Democrat from Missouri, a member of the squad. This woman goes out of her way every time she gives a speech to show the world how ignorant she is of everything she's talking about. And she didn't disappoint this time. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we have no problem pointing out the ignorance of our elected leaders. Now, during a congressional hearing on Thursday, radical Democrat, progressive Marxist Representative Cori Bush accused Republicans of having a perverted view of the Second Amendment, implying that they do not value lives over toys. She called them toys. Let me say this at the outset. Anyone who describes a firearm as a toy should not be involved in a discussion about the Second Amendment because they are not a serious person. Okay, let's give the Congresswoman her due. Let's listen to her.
Coming for the end of weak gun laws that allow people to buy an assault rifle and kill and traumatize school children, traumatize teachers, and traumatize grocery patrons.
First of all, there's no weak gun law that says that you can buy an assault weapon, which, what the hell is that? I drive an assault car. I bet she cuts her steak every night with an assault knife and an assault fork. She says that it gives people the right to buy an assault weapon and go and shoot children and yada, yada. Okay? No, that's a criminal. What the Second Amendment does is it gives law-abiding citizens the right to keep and bear arms, meaning they can purchase guns for their own defense and to defend their loved ones. Okay? And their property, as a matter of fact. The fact of the matter is she's talking about a criminal. Now, a criminal can't go into a store and buy a gun. 9 out of 10 of them, they already have a felony, okay, and they can't do it. They get their guns on the streets. But dipshits like Cori Bush will never point that out. She will never go after the person who's the criminal behind the gun. She wants to go after the inanimate object. She wants to go after the gun because she wants to go after your guns. Remember, folks, this is the same woman who beefed up her security, had her campaign send like $54,000 to buy more security for herself, and then called to defund the police. And when people called her out on it, she stood there in front of a camera and justified both things.
That's what we're coming for. And it doesn't require taking away people's right to bear.
Yes, it does, because when you say you don't want people to be able to have what you label as assault weapons, that means that you're saying you don't want law-abiding gun owners to have rifles.
Their arms. Our work is about saving people's lives.
No, it's not, because your work is about trying to take away guns from people so that the government can become tyrannical. Folks, the only reason why the government hasn't become a tyranny up until this point is because there's 300 million guns. And they know that they can't get away with it. That's just a reality. That's a fact. The fact of the matter is that they want all those guns.
We will not succumb to the nihilist, insurrectionist view of the Second.
You notice how she threw in insurrectionist view. These people are a total piece of shit.
Amendment. We will not allow.
She said nihilist, insurrectionist view of the Second Amendment. Folks, that's where they're coming from.
The apologists for gun violence to win.
Talk about apologists for gun violence. These are the people that don't want to go after the shooters. They don't want to go after the criminals. They're letting criminals go free who are then going back on the streets to use guns to harm people.
We will double down on a public health response to the public health emergency that is gun violence in our country.
Really, dipwad? Because then I think that you should immediately remove all gun-free school zone laws. Because gun-free school zone laws, what they do is they make our children sitting ducks for a lunatic with a gun that you don't want to go after. You want to go after his gun, but not him. And he knows that if he goes to a school, he wants to shoot as many people as possible. He can go to a school because he knows there's not going to be a responsible adult inside that building with a gun that could shoot back at him.
And together, we will end this crisis once and for all.
No, together they will end people's right to defend themselves once and for all. Folks, here's something that makes my point about her ignorance. During the hearing, Bush said that she had a personal experience with gun violence, stating that she had an abusive partner who shot at her in her early 20s. Now, that sounds awful, but it doesn't justify taking guns away from law-abiding gun owners. If she had a gun, that person may not have fired at her, or she could have defended herself. See, it would justify taking away a gun from the person who shot at her because he broke the law using a gun. But Cori Bush wants to take away everyone's right to keep and bear arms. It would be no different than proposing that no one could have a bank account because someone robbed a bank. Don't let this woman fool you. Cori Bush doesn't give a rat's ass about people being shot by so-called assault weapons. This entire rant was to push even further towards the Marxist goal of taking away guns from everyone. But the Second Amendment reigns supreme. And I would argue that one of the main reasons why James Madison and the rest of our founders put it in there is to stop the tyranny of politicians like Cori Bush. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to support the channel, visit rpwmedia.com and share our stories. Share this video, give us a like. We'll see you in the next one.